right. Welcome back to Popo Community for Justice. I'm Apostle Cecil Hatchett. And Bruce, how's it going on the campaign trail?
Well, Cecil, I tell you, it's been very, very interesting. As you know, I have filed for County Commissioner seat District number 2, and that's pretty well in the core here in the Northeast Corridor. Okay, all of the Northeast Corridor, for that matter. To the north, to the river. That's including Jansen Beach. You know what I mean, the Hayden Island, and to the west, to the river over there. That's the river there. You know, the Willamette River, and then to the east, as far as to the airport, beyond the airport there, right on that corner, and then to the south would be the 84 highway there. Good. So it's great. It's a sizable area. Oh, yeah. And then again, that area pretty well covers the majority, let's say a greater portion of the African Americans or Black Americans that are living in the state of Oregon. That's where the majority aspect of it. And people a lot of times refer to it as District 18 now.
Yes. Which
is kind of a deal, and in fact I might make mention about the fact that I was one of those guys, and one of the people actually Portland. It was the Portland Observer when I was publisher of the Portland Observer. We spearheaded putting that district together.
Yes.
So that we may have a good chance for a Black American to win that seat.
Oh, beautiful.
And it went through that process, and it was actually just happened to be a neighbor of mine that won the first time around. His name was Ed Leak, and then he won his position, and then then the idea is that afterwards Margaret Carter ran with Harold Williams and some other folks, and ultimately she won the race second time around, and and when she ran, she was there for quite some time.
Yes.
And she's done quite a job. It's not an easy job.
Oh, I believe it.
Sometimes it's such a busy job as it is going down to Salem, but really my whole idea initially was to try to get someone that stays in the area.
Yes.
Yeah, and that put a lot of pressure on her. Mm-hmm. And so consequently, we didn't get a lot of the things that we should have gotten. But the district still exists. It still exists. There are a number of Black Americans that live and reside in that area.
Yes.
But we got issues now. We got some other major issues like gentrification. We got rental issues, we got housing issues, we got home ownership issues, we got crime issues, just going to senior citizens. And then we got this mass building stuff, high rise, because in all due respect, that's why I had this eyesight way back when, because that's a valuable piece of property with the water right there, see?
That's true.
Very positive. And as you can see now, we got the high rise.
True.
But because we still have some things on the books there that we can prevent, at least trying to monitor, slow that stuff down, because right now it's just going spastic with the high rise. You got me? And because things have changed, because the high tech market is here now, and a lot of folks are finding that our climate is pretty neat. They finally figured out where Portland, Oregon is all about.
Oh, absolutely.
Beforehand, they didn't even want to be involved in this situation. They just went straight through to Seattle, to Washington.
Yes.
But now, the property here is so valuable, it's pathetic. You can't even afford to live here. The taxes are so high.
Oh, I understand.
But the whole idea was to get the type of leadership and cap that thing way back when. That's what I was thinking about at the time when we did the 18 piece, so that we could maybe avoid that and cut that off. But unfortunately, and I'll be right up front with you, trying to get the kind of leadership that will respond to that is hard to get, okay?
Yes, true.
So we're having some tough time aspect of it. But anyway, it's going to be okay. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I'm running, because District 2 is actually encompasses all of North Portland, all of Northeast Portland, District 18. So the three districts are really, all due respect, they're part of District 18. Multnomah County District 18.
True.
So when you look at the Multnomah County and the services they offer, and then the city of Portland for District 18, you got my point? You got it all. Oh, that's it. That's ground zero. Mm-hmm. You got me? Mm-hmm. And so sitting in that seat, I'm able to deal with all the issues.
Yes, sir.
Gentrification, police, law enforcement, housing. I was in housing at one point in time. In fact, low-income housing, senior citizen housing. I developed and built a senior citizen complex right in the back of the police department.
Yes.
Okay, you know where that is, right?
Yes, I do.
And it was a job. I wish I would be able to do more, but now it's okay. I'm just going to go in there again now and start talking about doing it again.
Okay.
But maybe with some other developers.
Oh,
You see what I mean? Some other developers. But so I'm going to really, but I got the background, right? So I know what to do as it relates to housing and building housing.
yes.
And building, especially senior citizen housing aspect of it. And so I'm saying that I feel that I'm very prepared for the job. But that's not to say now I'm running, but I'm doing the work now because I'm so familiar with the area. Some 40 years or so. I'm so familiar with the area that I'm able to go in there and I'm working on the issues now as we speak. See, just like I've got when I start thinking about housing issue and homelessness and this, that, and the other. I just recently ran for mayor not too long ago,
Right.
and I know all of basically a lot of those folks that are sitting in there, and I even offer some solutions. But now it's like anything else, you know. You during the time you're running, when everybody's running, you offer solutions. But if you don't have the money, you can't get the vote. See, but I got the word out there.
Yeah, money makes a difference.
And
yes.
but the same issues that I was addressing when I ran for mayor
True.
are the same issues
Yes.
that are of concern with Multnomah County. So now I'm running for that seat,
Yes.
and if I'm fortunate to get that seat, I'll be able to work on the issues that I put on the table when I ran for mayor, and then as far as I'm concerned, I will definitely be at that table. And we'll get some things done.
Yeah.
You get my point?
And it'll benefit everybody.
Yeah. For instance, like the whole issue of homelessness aspect of it. I knew that Wapato, there was a building. Actually, I call it shelter. See that
Yes.
a lot of folks don't understand. I need to share that with the viewing audience. That you got 3 different categories. You got home ownership, and then you got low-income housing or affordable housing.
That's correct.
You got me?
Yes.
And then you got shelter.
Yes.
Sheltering. Well, you got rental, but you got sheltering. It's different. So to me, the Wapato, which the county had owned, they were trying to get rid of it, been there for years.
Yes.
They had built that thing with the whole idea of providing more beds, and they got into a political kind of a deal, and it just sit there for years. At the end of the day, you know, we had a piece of property that was probably worth about over $100 million. And all of a sudden it was just supposedly just sold, but it may be available back to the county again because they don't have any takers. Meaning that the person who got it, you haven't been able to get rid of it.
Oh.
See, so we may be back with the same deal again. But I'm saying I want to be there with it when they do it.
Absolutely.
Because I've got some good ideas
Oh, absolutely.
and use
yes.
it because as far as I'm concerned, nobody should be on our streets right now.
Right.
Nobody. And that facility's got everything in it. Initially, it was built like a jail, but the fact of the matter is that it was really just a holding area. Because, you know, when people go to jail, there's two different areas. You either go to the institution, in OSP, okay, Oregon State, you know. But on the other hand, when they just kind of get in the sense of where you are and what you do and this type of deal, they'll put you in a local facility to kind of get a sense of where to do and where you go type
Right.
routine. And to me, that makes a lot of sense. See, because we still got a lot of mental illness on the street, a lot of problems. Don't have a place to go,
Which we do.
and which we need. They need housing, and so they need shelter, temporary shelter.
That's correct.
And then you've got the situation, so that we got that deal. So you can put them in there as a temporary basis, shelter. Get them out the street. Get them off that weather situation. It's just a sad note that someone shouldn't have done something about this piece. But unfortunately, it's like in there. You got to have the right leadership sitting at that table. So hopefully at that table, I might be able to influence them far better than I am outside. You get my point?
Yes.
So so Wapato is a very, very, very key piece in this area right now. I'm working on that right now. And then naturally you got other issues, but that mental illness goes with that whole issue of Wapato. Got me? That's part of it. And then like I said, then the next thing is a senior citizen. That's where you and I are.
Absolutely, absolutely,
See,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? And with the baby boomer aspect, a lot of folks are going to be getting in that arena very shortly.
That's correct.
And we need a place to go, aspect of it. So we need housing for those out there, those folks. We need good facilities, and they got variation of facilities. You go around, and they got about 3 different categories. You got to have money to get in those facilities.
That's true.
And if you don't have the support mechanisms, because you need medical attention at that point in time, which is another area that Multnomah County is involved in. You see what I'm saying? We just passed a measure just a minute ago at 101 about health care aspect of it, which basically identified with some folks, but it cut out some other folks. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
and then they put it on the head of some other folks about who pays for it, right? But that's another issue that I've been concerned about quite a bit, because when you get to a point where you're over 60, 65 years old, you should not have to be, there should be some things that you're guaranteed. Medical.
Absolutely.
A place to stay.
Medical, yes.
As a place to stay, medical, and a place to eat.
That's true.
You know my point? You got to have those. And I don't think a person should be coming out of their pockets trying to have a full-time job to get those in, especially if you're a senior.
That's true.
You get my point?
That's very
So
true.
we need to talk to that. And since I'm in that arena, in that era, if you will, in terms of age-wise,
Yes.
and then I looked at the people that are sitting at the table, and they're not there yet. See, they're still in the working area.
Yeah,
And we want them working. We want them working to pay them bills. You know.
Yes, yes.
And so that's another area that's very dear to my heart. You got me? And then naturally, I got my vet uniform on from Vietnam, because a lot of young people and even older people, for instance, have gotten to the point that they need that medical attention right now. You got
Yes,
my point?
they do.
And they
That's
need that service, and so that's another area that I'm going to be focusing in real heavy in that area, and I think rightfully so. I want to make sure that they get their benefits.
Yes.
And so that's why I wear the uniform, if I see them, if you will. And then we got a lot of young people with the Iraqi war and things of that nature. The war that they fought, they had to fight in, and the one that I did were two different worlds. You got me? And young people are coming back with all kinds of problems, you know, with opioids, you know, a lot of pills problems, and drugs, and stressed out, and PTSD is huge. I mean, I had PTSD yesterday every day, but they didn't focus on that when I was in the service.
Oh no.
They just let you just go on, keep on going, you know.
Yeah.
But today it's a real problem, and so. But fortunately, our country is kind of like said, okay, fine, we're going to make sure we take care of the vets, and I'm here to say that as far as benefits, they're getting better and better from the standpoint of making sure that the vets have medical attention. They get medical benefits.
Absolutely.
Okay, very important. Housing. They talk to even housing for veterans, or shelter for veterans. They got a lot of goodies. But the county has their own program.
Okay.
Outside of the system.
Oh, okay.
But realistically, they don't have. And since they're outside of the system, they don't have all the other stuff that one needs. You know, the doctors and the emergency rooms, all that stuff.
That's
I mean, if you go to emergency room outside of that, guess what? You're stuck with the bill.
Oh, that's sad.
But if you go in under the roof of the Veterans Administration, it doesn't cost you a dime. See, so you got to get your card, your medical card from the VA, and that shows your photos on it and your ID, and all of a sudden you can go up there on the Hill, or you go in any VA medical center or whatever, and they'll take care of you.
Oh, and they give you.
Yes, and they even got down to the point now, and in all due respect, even though I'm going to be focusing on communicating the vets to the county, but now in the medical piece, they got a situation up there right now. Once you get your card, you don't have to worry about, as one would say beforehand, standing in line at the VA. You can go to any doctor you want to go.
Oh, that's
Isn't that
great.
something?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And in fact, I got to say that I got to give the okay with reference to President Trump. He was the one that signed that bill, because we were worried at one point in time that wasn't going to happen. You know what I mean? A lot of times, you know, presidents change. He opened that door.
Okay.
Well, actually, it went back a ways, even in the Bush's administration.
Okay.
They all signed off, but it's gotten down to the point. No one dropped it. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
It went through the Bushes, the son and whatever, and the old man, and then it went to the Clintons, and then it went to Obama.
Right.
You know, just right on down the line. And now Trump, he signed off. So
Okay.
it's still going strong forward.
Oh, forward.
So
great.
that's awesome,
Yes,
if you will.
yes.
And I want to thank him for that. You got my point? That's what it's all about. I'm not interested in the politics. Now, that's one was saying, down where we all said that we got to clean the swamp. I'm not talking about the swamp over there. I'm talking about the swamp over here.
Yes.
In Portland, Oregon, in District Number 2.
Okay.
Where I'm at. Okay. So that's a kind of where I'm at. And then that, like I said, we talked about the senior citizen piece aspect of it, whatever. And so I've been looking at so what I've been doing of late, Cecil, I've been going down to the centers around the activities of Portland Parks and Recreation and the Senior Citizen Center, and I've been checking out on the seniors. And I've been going around and eating lunch at the Senior Citizen Center.
That's
you got me? And when I walk in there, first I walk in to see how, when I introduce myself, how they're treating the folks when you walk in.
Yes.
Look at the food that they're serving. Is it nutritional? Got my point?
Yes.
And then is it, again, cleanliness? Even in the kitchen where they cook it.
Oh,
I want to make sure it's all clean. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then I walk outside and check out the restrooms to see whether or not they're good and clean.
Sure.
Both men and women. I just kind of tell the person that's there, just hold up the door here to see whether or not the women's things are clean too. And then I walk in to check it out. And then I walk around and look at some of the other activities that they're having in the center to see whether or not people are happy.
Yes.
And they're using the facility.
Yes.
You see, and that makes a lot of sense. And I learned one thing that
And they're reaping the benefits.
and they're
of
reaping the
facility.
benefit.
Yes.
They're reaping the benefit. It's very, very important. See,
Okay.
and then they got a meal on wheels. So
Yes.
if a person can come there, normally it's 5 days a week. Or hopefully they get 5 good nutritional meals
Yes.
at least a week. Okay,
Okay.
got me. And then the idea they have a meals on wheel if you can't get to the facility. But I'm working on a deal right now that there's some people that are still sitting at home who are capable of coming to the facilities, but they don't have any transportation
And that's
or the
fantastic.
motivation. You
That-
see,
And that
So,
would help a
and
lot.
have them come over because going to that center really helps out.
Yes.
They socialize, you know what I mean, and even their relatives can go there and eat with the folks.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
they can invite their relatives. Say, I'll pick it up the tab because it don't cost you nothing.
Oh, fantastic.
see?
Well, amen.
So you
Yes,
can go
sir.
to the facility and eat.
Okay.
You know, but naturally, if you're 61 or over, you can eat for free,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll ask you to, if you want to put a little donation in there to help them out. That's fine. So I got some good ideas, and I'll just throw something out real quick, like to you, in regards to an idea. What I'm thinking about is that, like I said, the Meals on Wheels folks, they need transportation.
Yes.
So the idea is to get a transportation, some sort of I don't know, cab company or whatever, and work a deal out with them. You got me?
Yes.
And then to have them come on over, to bring them over to the facility, pick them up, bring them over, and then take them back home when
Oh,
they're
that'd
ready.
be
Wouldn't that be neat?
fantastic.
Wouldn't that be
Yes, it
neat?
would.
And then they
It
could
would be a benefit.
socialize and
Yes,
this,
it
that, and the
would.
other.
Yes.
And so my thing is, sometimes say, well, Bruce, where do you get the money? Well, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I used to be at United Way at one point. That's one of my qualifications.
That's true.
And I used to do the fundraising
Yes.
with loan execs, okay? And now under the definition of United Way now,
Right.
you can designate your money
Oh.
to whoever you want,
fantastic.
whatever cause you want, right? And so I'm just saying, I'm gonna come out with a program while I'm there, and I'm talking about it right now. Adopt a senior program.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Adopt a senior. So
Yes.
the money goes to the United Way, and then United Way provides the transportation,
Oh, that's fantastic.
and it doesn't cost the voters nothing.
Oh, no.
And then people
And
could be
that's
happy.
nice.
So
Yes.
if they're working out there, if they're kids or whatever, they can say, well, gee whiz, I want to support the United Way. So United Way looks good because that's their job, right? And then the kids are getting something for their parents who you know, because they're not at home or whatever. You know what I mean? But then Wheels on Meals, sometimes they can help them out that way. But the fact of the matter is that parent can go, everybody's happy. United Way is happy because they raised their goal, they're doing what they're supposed to do, and everybody's great. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That kind of a deal. And in fact, I'll even transfer right over to Wapato. I don't want to give up. I will give up all my secrets. This don't matter. I just want to get something done. That's what my key. You know what I'm saying?
And adopt a senior citizen.
Adopt a senior citizen.
That's fantastic.
So he said, okay,
Yes.
fine. I'll donate $20 a month,
Yes.
or $5 a month, or $50 a
Or
month,
whatever,
or 100,
yes,
whatever. You
yes,
see what I'm saying?
yes.
And those small businesses can do the same thing
Every little
if
bit-
they can
every
write
little
off
bit
every little
counts.
count.
Yeah,
So if the
yes.
money's already there,
Absolutely.
then it doesn't have to. We have to raise no taxes on that
No, we
piece.
don't.
You got
No,
my point?
we don't. Yeah.
And then you get the seniors out of their house, if you
Yes.
will. They'll be able to live longer and meet other people, and relationships will gather, and it's just a good thing.
Yes.
And then that way, you know, kids out there working who are middle class or whatever, and working every day 8 to 5, they can now say, well, gee whiz, I got a break. I can get off at 12 noon and go down there and eat dinner with daddy, or no, eat lunch with mom or dad.
Yes.
Isn't that neat?
Yes.
And then go back to work.
Yes. Yes.
And because see, that's the other thing about getting the young folks, if you will, to go and visit their parents while they're in these senior citizen homes.
Yes.
Because that's another issue there too, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
I
when they're
agree.
sitting up there living
Yes.
in the house, and I've gone to some houses, I tell you, I've gone with Regina Williams, and we've talked about this stuff, and in fact, we're going to have her on the show. But she's one of those aides that go to the house
Yes.
to help them out.
Okay.
And man, you'd be surprised at the thing that's there with seniors. Because when they go to the bathroom, they can't clean things up.
Right.
Their feces all on the floor and all kinds of. It looks bad. It's deplorable. I mean, for seniors, because they can't take care of themselves.
That's true.
See what I'm saying? So I want to know how many of those folks are like that. and take care of it.
Yes. And
See,
that would be a
and cut off the
great
red
asset.
tapes or whatever
Yes,
is necessary,
yes,
and maybe bring the kids back. Pay them. As far as I'm
Absolutely,
concerned,
yes, yes.
pay them because there's a more of a motivation to, you know what I mean, to take care of their own,
Yes.
as opposed to someone else doing it that way. You see what I'm saying? So my thought was by doing it that way, that would do some good stuff for us all.
Yes, it
As
would.
far as community, everybody
Yes.
feel good, and like I said, I've not looked at the other programs, but I'm going to be looking at those programs to see whether or not they're doing what they're supposed to do and they're getting paid for.
That would be fantastic.
And the ones that are not, I'm going to close them up.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they would deserve to be called.
And then we might have a deal where we say, okay, fine, we want to, you know, you can adopt a homeless person,
Yes.
a homeless person program, see? And
Yes.
then that money then could be put in the pot to maybe develop Wapato.
Yes.
I talked to a couple of developers, and whatever they estimated that it'll take about $1 million to get that place ready, that folks could just come on in there, $1 million, and that could be raised overnight, just like that.
Yes.
It wouldn't take that. It wouldn't take that long to put that piece together. You see what I mean? But again, we talk about a doctor program. Got a gentleman here. There's the man right there. There he is. How you doing, sir? There he is, looking good too. Good man. Okay. But so the whole idea there, see,
We can
is
find a chair for him.
No, he was just stopping by just to say hi.
Okay.
But you see what I'm saying? See, if we are more creative, you know what I mean? It doesn't cost the person who's on the lower end trying to make a living, but we need to take the folks off the streets.
And we already made a statement through Trump, at least when he made his
Yeah. So I'm gonna take advantage of that. Yeah, we're gonna take advantage of that.
Of people's income have increased.
That's right.
And now that they have,
Right.
now that the money have
Right,
increased,
right.
that they can expand a little bit more
Right.
on wanting to help other people.
Exactly. See, and so my point is that when I saw that whole situation when he gave his State of the Union address, and don't get me wrong, politics is politics.
Yes.
We're having the presidential race right now.
Right.
And see, but we got issues here.
That's true.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm focusing on the issues of District Number 2. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yes.
And every so often I might highlight something that might interest me when I heard the speech, and the one I highlighted was the fact that he signed that deal that says veterans can have that medical and go anywhere they want to go.
Right.
Once they get the benefit. That's good stuff to me.
True.
The rest of it, I'm not interested in the rest of it. See?
Right.
And I would say that to those Democrats and Republicans both, whoever, if they're fighting one, look, why don't you spend your time trying to figure out how to solve a problem?
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't want to hear this about Trump or this or the other. In fact, he's the president of the United States, but you're there to represent us, the people, and I want you there working and doing some of the same thing I'm sure you and I talking about. You got my point? From that other level, right? What I'm saying? So I don't know whether it be Ron Wyden or any of the other guys that are U.S. senators or congressmen that are up in that area, and these are competent people. But I want them to spend the time.
Yes.
You know, bringing the bacon home. I don't want to say bacon, but they got to bring some meat home, right?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
time in the money.
You understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And I might mention another one that I'm working on. Might get some push because I'm gonna be knocking on some doors, and I'm gonna be asking folks to participate. And that is that I'd like to, you know, the other issue we have are needles. You know, just needles being just tossed on. You know,
Right.
folks who are just basically shooting up and
Right.
methadone for the drug thing and aspect of it. Well, I was at a meeting within the district where Lou Frederick and Loretta Smith were. They were on the job up in North Portland.
Sure.
So that's my job. I mean, I look at a schedule and I just kind of figure out where to go because it's not an endorsement. It's just, hey, look, they're on the job. I am part of District 2, a voter. So I want to know what they're doing.
Yes.
And at the same time, I do both. I know what they're doing, and I can catch. I'm on the job training right now, so to speak, to find out what the job is. So when I get there, get in the seat, I'm running.
Yes.
I'm not OJ10.
Wow.
Usually I'm not on the job training. But anyway, they brought up an issue. A family, actually, a mother, brought up the issue about the fact that she had some concerns about this place where they picked up needles, the fresh needles.
Right.
In the neighborhood, and she was worried about that because a lot of the people who were using them would drop the needles on the yard, and they had kids. Yeah, and they'd used it, and they got kids, and they got animals out there. And as a small businessman, when I was over here with Norma's Kitchen, we had kids, you know, because we were right out there on the water there,
right.
But kids would be running around barefooted and this, that, and the other, and animals running around, and they would drop needles there. I had to make sure that I cleaned those needles up every morning early.
Very true.
before I opened the place up.
Absolutely.
So the bottom line is that I said, well, wait a minute, we got to solve the problem. Nobody was talking about solve the problem, but it was a concern, and they were listening. Naturally, both of the elected officials were there to listen. So I raised my hand up. I said, well, I had a little background. I said, I think maybe we might be able to look at just like we picked up we have a bottle-free bill right now. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about no bottles and cans on the street anymore. Because they worth some money.
Yeah,
they worth some money.
They moved from a nickel to a
dime, right? So you ain't gonna, people gonna be fighting over that stuff.
Absolutely,
see? And that's income, if you will, to a homeless person for that matter. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about those needles, a lot of them are sitting right there at the homeless camps, but elsewhere too. Now they're in the community. So my thing was, I said, well, look, why don't we put maybe 25 cents? Because the needle is that's a pretty dangerous piece, because it's a sharp deal, and kids will look at that shiny object and start poking one another, that type of deal, or poking animals. You know how youth will do things, got me? Or they'll step on it. There was a good example with TriMet the other day, where a young kid was playing up there in TriMet, and was in the back seat, was playing out just playing out the window, and there was a needle there. And then the kid was up there, little kid was playing with the needle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I don't know what happened with reference if they had to get rabies shot or whatever, but that's dangerous.
Putting themselves behind.
That's right. Yes. But on the other hand, if you put 25 cents on it, you got me? They're going to pick it up.
Oh, they're going to pick it up.
And turn it in. And get that 25 cents.
Yes,
so if we had a bottle bill, there's no sense in creating another deal. We just add it to it.
Yes,
they can drop those needles up and get that 25 cents at the same facility. In fact, they've gotten so unique with the bottle and can thing, you can go down to the drop-off point, apply and fill out a form. Well, all you do, you don't have to wait in line. You put the cans and bottles and whatever, and put it, and then drop it in a chute, and it registers, and then you can pick it up at your local Safeway or any of the other stores, and get the money.
That's very
and
true.
apply it to your bill when you do it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So now they don't have any more cans and stuff out there, see, and people don't have to be sitting out in line. You got my point? So it's a good thing, and it helps out with the garbage dumps. Because I used to work for Waste Management, which is now actually Waste Management, but it was USA Waste. And I was in the recycling.
Yes.
And the whole idea was to try to keep as much stuff out of the dump yards, if you will.
Sure.
See what I'm saying? So that helps when you recycle stuff out. And then, because a lot of times people are trying to recycle that stuff on a belt, right? You got me? And the workers are trying to recycle, getting paper and stuff like that, and trying to and the needles come in, and guess what? They stick themselves.
Yes, they do.
See what I mean? So we need to get those needles off. So like I said, I'm working on the deal now, same deal, trying to get the existing program to accept needles.
So people don't put themselves.
That's right. So accept needles. So my thing, I'm very solution oriented. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about, and that's what your job is all about. And as you know, you said okay to this, but we're inviting all candidates to come. You want them to come on the show.
And do even matter.
Yeah, just come on the show and they can explain themselves, especially people from District Number 2. Because if they got a better resume than me, and then I'll just walk off. I got until March to not worry about it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I want them to just come over in here and talk about what they do. They may have some ideas.
Yeah, and nobody's afraid of competition.
That's right. And I know you will ask them what their ideas are.
Absolutely. Yes, I will ask them whatever they
I know you will do that. I don't have to worry about that part.
Absolutely.
So they're all invited. Now, seriously, I mean, they're all invited. We had Maxwell was here. I mean, Sharon was here the other day.
Sharon was here.
Yeah, she was here, and she talked a bit. And so all the folks who are running for District 2, but whether you're running for any other office, whether you're city council, whether you're running for Congress, whether you're mayor, governor, U.S. senator, U.S. representative, hey, come on over here and talk to the people, because it's the people here, the little people, that needs to know what you bring to the table.
Yes, we do.
As opposed to just making it a commercial kind of a deal,
right,
where you got pretty faces, and then you vote for somebody, and the next day you're trying to figure out, you can't even call them.
No.
You lost touch.
Yeah. No.
But this show,
yes,
you're on YouTube.
Absolutely.
They can see it at their leisure.
Yes, they can.
And for free.
Yes.
They can Google it on this right here. All you have to do is just put it on the mic and says, Po folks.
There you are.
Po folks, Portland, Oregon, cable, and there's the show, looking right at you, right? The same thing with Oregon Voters Digest. They can do the same thing, because I'm getting ready to walk over here now and do my show.
Absolutely.
You got me?
Yes.
And I'm going to be interviewing some folks. In fact, we're going to be talking about campaign finance funding routine. That's going to be a very interesting show. You know, because and right in front goes to the county aspect of it, because a lot of people have been picking up money and haven't filed and stuff like that. And it's a problem, but it can be fixed. So adopt the
Everything's
eyes.
fixable,
I'm
yes.
gonna probably have them on the show with you here too,
Yes,
to educate the people.
and that
'Cause
would
they
be
need- so when they get that voting ballot, one, they'll recognize the name, and they'll recognize whether or not they're talking to the issues.
absolutely.
Not that slick piece of paper that they get in the mail, right?
That's true.
It look pretty. So that's a very important piece.
Because we want the meat and potatoes.
That's right. That's right.
information.
We
Yes.
want the best person for the job.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. Because it's like anything. When you're going for a job, what do you have to have? You have to have a resume, right?
Absolutely.
And then you got the job here, and then you apply for the job, and they look at the resume.
Sure.
And if you don't have your background, your resume, you shouldn't get hired.
True. If
So
you
we
don't
need to
have
look at the
that,
same thing when
yes.
we're running for office here. And that'll help out quite a bit. And it'll lower the kind of monies that you need just to put all that stuff out there.
That's true.
That'll save a lot of time coming up here interviewing with you. See, look at you. You give me all this good time and whatever, but I know you're looking right at my eye. Because I know if I'm saying anything wrong, you'd say something.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's very true.
So with that, I would say, hey, please come on over and educate the people. It's like anything else. People are running for office. It's going to be gearing up. They've got until the 8th of March, or 7th of March, I say 7th, but I say 8th. But the door will close on people being able to run for office. So you got the time now to still go and register. If anybody's interested in running for office, whether it be this seat or anything, city council, or governor, whatever, you still have enough time
Yes, they
to
do.
go and file to
Yes.
run for office.
Yes, that's very true.
But like I say, make sure you bring your resume.
Yeah, bring
and,
it.
and a little hint, and Cecil, I don't have nothing to hide anything. I want to help you out if you're interested, especially if you got some good ideas. All you can do is just put yourself a nice little handout like this, like the one I have. And what it says up front, basically it tells you about what job I'm running for and what I think the issues are. You got me? And then on the back, it says, there's my resume.
There you are.
This is what I bring to the job.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So you can do something like that and carry it with you and give it to people. And put your photo on there too. See, and I put the photo
Yes.
of what I have,
Bruce has
what
a
I
photo
have
on it.
on, what I
Yes.
have on, because I definitely one of the jobs I do right now is reaching out to vets.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? And when I get on the job, I want people to know that I'll be wearing this same uniform
Oh, okay.
when I'm sitting in that seat, because I want people to know that I'm looking for the vets, and these are family members.
Yes.
See what I
I
mean?
say what I mean. I mean what I say.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. So with that, my buddy, I'm gonna get going here. You gonna be okay?
Oh,
I know you will.
Oh,
I know you will.
Yes.
I'm gonna go on now and get ready for this other piece of the action,
Okay.
and then I'll see you next week, right?
Oh, and let people know what show you're gonna be doing.
Yeah, Oregon Voters Digest. In fact, it's going to be on at 4 o'clock, channel number 11. We're going to have a very interesting show out there. We're going to have a continuation of last show.
Yes.
And then we got another person talking about some other issues, okay?
Yes, and on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on YouTube too. But you can turn on channel 11 and get a live show.
Repeat that again because the mic was
Okay,
not on.
okay, Brian. You're on channel 11 on
Ellie.
channel 11 at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, channel 11, Oregon Voter Digest, and you can look at my guests, and we're going to be talking about some issues and things of that nature, which will be very interesting. And again, I want to thank Cecil for giving us the opportunity to be there with him. And,
Every time I'm
and,
happy to have you on
and
the
I'll be here next week.
Yes.
with another candidate, hopefully.
Oh, Sister Ellie's gonna be here next
So
week.
she's gonna be here next week.
Yes,
Okay.
she's gonna be here next
Well, if you
week.
guys need me, let me know.
You're always invited.
Okay, my
You're
friend.
100% welcome all the time.
And thank you folks out there. And like I said, pay attention. Pay attention so that when you get that ballot, you will seriously know how to vote. That's
Yes.
very, very important. And register to vote. Register to vote. You can do online, but the bottom line, get out there and register to vote. If you don't know how to do it, ask Cecil. Maybe we'll get the voting folks from Multnomah County. That's another part. We'll bring them on here and
Absolutely.
tell them what they need to do. Right?
That'll
Okay,
be
buddy?
fantastic.
Okay, good.
We'll definitely have them on the air.
Well, thanks again, Cecil.
Okay. See you soon.
Okay, buddy.
Okay,
Sounds great.
Brother
Okay,
Bruce
buddy.
Broussard.
You can keep that if you want to. That's another piece there.
All right. All right, all you people out there in TV land, I'd just like you to know that Brother Bruce Broussard we're here today, and we're gonna continue this with the show. And thanks once again, Brother Bruce
Sure enough,
Broussard.
sure enough. My
And
pleasure.
Mills on Willie was explaining about that,
yes.
and letting all you people out there knowing that when he's elected, is gonna work at trying to get you wonderful people out there transportation to get to the Meals on Wheel program and get fed, and if not, it'll still have the delivery of Meals on Wheels. So, let's see.
Here, here.
Oh, Sister Ellie, okay.
Here.
Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you, Sister Ellie. Hey, Sister Ellie, is Steve Bennett?
Yeah,
Is
it's
Steve?
here.
Is
Got
Steve?
it.
Oh, will
Would
we
you
be able?
like him to-
Will we be able to put anything out here on the air?
I can ask him.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Cecil.
Yes.
This
Okay.
camera. This is
Okay.
yours.
All right. Okay. So, thank you again, Brother Bruce Broussard. Thank you, Sister Ellie. And I just want to let you people know that you're welcome to come on the show and speak about whatever you want to speak about. Share your information or share your heart, whatever's on your mind, or whatever you want to try and get resolved or solved. You're welcome to bring it on the air. We do our shows, and I'm more than welcome to allow you to speak to whatever subject you choose, and we're not I don't try to restrict you from saying what you need to say. I enjoy people speaking their heart to say what they must say. People sometimes will call in, but they'll not be specific when they call in. They generally won't leave their name. They'll like call restricted or something like that. I generally don't even pick up on those kind of phone calls, because if they got something to say, they'll either let people know who they are, what their name is, and I'm just more willing to hear what they have to say, and hopefully I feel great about what they have to say, because they speaking from the heart. But when they just putting information out there restricted, you really don't know who you're dealing with or what they're dealing with or what they want to do, and that's what I do. I ignore them or not have them on. If they made obligations to come on the show and not show up, then I won't have time for them, nor make time for them, because that's what I do. But this is Black History Month, and this is February, and that's what this is all about. So if black people definitely want to come on the show and speak about whatever subject matters they want to speak about, or if whatever your race or nationality is and you want to speak about whatever you want to speak about, you're welcome to do so. If you don't speak English, well, that's fine. Then bring someone with you that speaks English, and they can translate for them, and I'm more than happy to let that take place. I think that would be interesting as well, because some people speak in sign language or whatever form of communication they speak in, and we'll here to promote that kind of voice. So don't feel like you're being limited to whatever you have to say because you feel like you don't speak English, or maybe you speak sign language. And but if you know someone that speaks sign language and English or whatever language that they speak, we're more than happy to help them get that message out there. And when we do shows and we're on YouTube, if they do a show on Powerful Community for Justice, what'll happen is that individual show will, whatever day, like today right now is today is 4th, is it? Or what is today? I believe it's the 4th of February. So if there's... It is the 4th. Yes. Thank you very much, Brother Ron. So if they did the show today, and if they wanted to immediately get to their show, whatever show it was, they could have done that show that day, and then if whoever they're trying to communicate specific information to, they can tell them, go to that station, YouTube, and then Powerful Community for Justice, and then they can speak their heart to whoever they're talking to, right then and there. And whatever they said, whatever they said, they're basically stuck to the conversation. So hopefully tell the truth and don't be trying to lie or ham it up or twist it or turn it, because it'll bite you in the behind. So speak your heart, tell it like it is, and keep on moving forward, because that's what that's all about. And the information will be preserved well into the future. So if you ever want to continue to go back to it 10, 15, 20, 100 times, 1,000 times, it doesn't make any difference. Like I said, I've did many, many shows, and I've helped people that work on a lot of different issues, and I'm happy for them because they were able to move the issues forward. And I've had many, many people who said that they were wanting to come on a show and speak to a bunch of issues, but they changed their mind or cowered out or whatever the case may be. I'm not mad one way or the other, because my show continued to move forward. Pope for Community for Justice. I'm Apostle Cecil Hatchett, but you see my friend that was to the right of me, generally when they come on the show, they'll say my name, Cecil Hatchett. It don't make no difference. It is Apostle Cecil Hatchett. Generally, some people respect your titles and things of this nature, and they'll roll with you, but then you find some people are just being themselves, and they'll just, whatever they say, if they say your name correctly or with your title, that's fine. That's respect. That's being respectful. You're not mad at them or anything. You're very happy for whatever they're doing, but you don't stop. The show must go on, and I continue to move forward. I don't care. It's just that if you come on the show and say what's majigam or what's call it, or what's his face, or what's or so and so or whatever, the deal is be honest or be truthful and try and continue to get your message across, and that's what all I'm concerned with. It's play to win, and when I invite people on the show, I'll invite them on the show, and I treat them like saying, look, I can step off the scene, out of the camera scene, and you and whoever you come on the air with, you can do the whole show. It doesn't make me no difference. It's Pope for Community for Justice, but it's for justice. It's for any and everybody, and we want to keep this rolling. And I had wonderful people there in the back. Sister Ellie, Dave, Brother Ron, and every time when I ask the gentleman, his name is back there, hey, Brother Ron, who's that back there? Next to you back there, Brother Ron? And I have my son, Cecil, that helps me quite a bit, because I've had a stroke, and so he always comes out and helps me get things squared away and keep us moving forward. And but all the other people are producers, and I think the world of them, and they come all the time to help to keep Pope for Community for Justice rolling forward. We're a nonprofit organization, and we just play real strong hardball. Brother Ron?
Yes.
What's the other gentleman's name back there? Tom. I always keep mispronouncing his name. So, what was that?
Tom Hopkins.
Okay. Brother Tom Hopkins, he was here with us last week, and he's here with us this week. He's a producer as well. I really want to thank him. He's always been here helping us. He's a true professional. He's been in this business for years and years, like Sister Ellie and Brother Ron and Steve. All you guys have been fantastic, and my son Cecil. I think the world of all of you people, and I just want to let you people know that when you come to Pope for Community for Justice, you'll have the same wonderful, talented people trying to help you move your situation forward and get great things done. My voice sounds kind of shaky because that's just the way it is for right now. I guess, well, when you've had a stroke before, your voice gets kind of wiry and everything else. And but that's the way it is. I'll still continue to move forward to do shows, and I invite a lot of people to come and do shows. But if they don't show up, I'll be here every Sunday on this generally I start about 12 o'clock noon, and on some Sundays, like the first Sunday, generally we'll have other people coming and doing their shows, but every Sunday thereafter, I'm here doing shows for any and everybody to come here. And so if you have a brain fart or a thought that you just want to get, or something on your heart and your mind that you want to get out there in the open air, then do that. And we'll help you get that message out there to the world. So that's what's going on here. Let's see. Jenny, Brother Steve in the back. Jenny, he says in the future he'll come in, because it's in February, he'll come on the air sometime, and he'll put a show out or put out a message out there for you people out there in TV land, so to let you know about wonderful black events or wonderful things about African American or Negro Americans or whatever. So he speaks about any. He's very versatile, so he covers any and everything. And he has friends that do wonderful shows, and they've been invited to come on Pope for Community for Justice, but they've not shown up yet. But the invitation has always been extended to them. So that's what's going on. Who is that in the back here? Oh, I don't see them. So anyway, that's what I'm talking about. So again, I'm very happy. Hey, is that you, Brother Ron? Anyway, I'm very happy to continue to get our message. We have about 10 more minutes left before we're off the air. And so I just want to, is that you, Brother Ron? Okay.
About 9 minutes.
We got about 9 minutes? Okay, thank you, Brother Ron. Did you want to come out and say hello to your relatives or anything, Brother Ron?
No.
Okie dokie.
Thanks anyway.
All right, the invitation's there. All right, we have about 9 minutes left, and that's what I was trying to get across to you people out there in TV land. So, again, Sister Ellie, what was your friend's name that's going to be on next week? Sister Ellie? She has Heather is going to be.
Heather Asa.
Okay, did you want to say anything? Come.
Heather Asa, she's going to come.
Would you like to come up and say her name?
Yeah.
Okay. Sister Ellie is here. And
So
do you have a mic?
yeah, I have a mic. Okay.
So please go ahead.
So Heather is coming for next week, and she's gonna be our show with her family, and she's gonna share about her son's accident, which happened 6 months ago, and she's gonna tell us her testimony about what happened with her son and her recovery.
Okay.
She's like, what kind of support what she got from the family and friends and the hospital, and the testimony is about how God helped him and how God able to give them the power, the strength, and keep it going. And it's a miraculous, really a miraculous recovery. what he goes through, and she's gonna share that, and I'm very happy because a
Me too.
lot of family has similar situation.
Yes.
You know, the accident, usually younger generation has an accident and struggling coping with that tragic, and if somebody doesn't have a faith, I don't know how can she cope with that. And so she's gonna share, and she's gonna bring the whole family, and she has 3 daughters and this son, so 4 children. And I'm very happy you give a opportunity to this family, and I hope everybody gain through this testimonial, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, oh, me too. And I'm looking forward to having Heather on. And hopefully she's going to do the whole show. And I'm just really happy to have her here, and excited as well.
Yeah, it's always good if we are able to share our struggling, and how can we get strength, how can we keep going in a daily life if we have this tragic situation in our life. And especially for a mother who raised 4 children alone, and so it's just very hard. And looking forward to it, and the show, and thank you very much for let them come in and let them share their experiences.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you came out, Sister Ellie, and I'm really looking forward to this other party coming on the show and share her life experience or that particular event, and let other people know out there in TV land. It doesn't make it no difference who you are. Just come on and speak your heart. Share with the world and keep a running record of what's going on in your life that can be preserved and saved for future reference. If you want to use it to make reference to any particular things or situation, maybe you need a lawyer, and maybe want to push the matter further, and that would be a perfect place to have presented your case.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
See
Sister
you
Ellie.
next week. We are coming next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sister Ellie. All right. See you back. Bye-bye. All right. Well, we have about 5 more minutes left out here in TV land. We just had Sister Ellie here. She's one of the wonderful producers here. She did many shows with Popo Community for Justice, and she did her own shows, and she did many shows regarding the fire, or the young man that set a fire at Monoma Falls, and she had some wonderful information regarding that individual. They just cover all kind of fantastic information, and I'm very, very proud of what Sister Ellie does, brother. All these wonderful producers do great work, and if anybody here that wants to become a producer or wants to get trained up and become a producer or a field producer or a studio producer, you can just come to this studio here up and take some classes and become a producer. And they got great people here that can train you, guide you, and direct you into becoming producers and or field producers. And then if you want to do shows, or if you got things that you wanting to do, you can do that, and you'll feel great about yourself, and you can expand your mental knowledge, and the equipment here is available to you, and they'll train you how to use the equipment correctly or properly, and then they put it in your physical possession, And we're talking about very, very expensive equipment that's good for any kind of projects that you could possibly imagine to want to perform and perform. So take advantage of whatever is at your fingertips, and then you don't have to pay the thousands of dollars for equipment when people train you and show you how to properly use it and put the equipment in your physical possession to go out and be successful or switch over to being very successful or be able to afford to own certain equipment. So stay strong and stay focused. I know we have about 2 minutes left before this show is going off. So Brother Bruce Broussard was just here talking about Meals on Wheels and talking about particular politics. He's running for District 2. And he was just here a moment ago. He went to his own studio to do his own show. But I just want to share with you people that play to win. Don't be afraid. Trust God Almighty. Stay strong. Stay focused. And it doesn't make no difference if you, talk English or don't talk English. If you don't understand, and all you know is sign language. But if you have someone that can speak sign language and English too, so bring them on the show and guide your message through. Well, what we have is 15 seconds, and we'll be going off the air. And I just want to thank you again. God Almighty love you, and I love you too. My name is Apostle Cecil Hatchett, and I look forward to seeing all you wonderful people in the future next week for sure. Have a blessed day.